Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Millennial Schmark, and I'm bringing you the slop, the whole slop, and nothing but the slop. Timestamps are down in the description box below if you want to get directly into the review. Otherwise, fuck with me for a moment. There's nothing to talk about in the news. I don't know if that's a blessing or if that's a curse. A blessing, because I don't have to talk about fucking wrestling any more than I have to outside of this stupid-ass pay-per-view. A curse, because I kind of have to run down the match card because I have to have an intro. Alright, let's go down to this gay ass card. Nick Wayne. Oh wait, no, we're not doing pre-shows. Pre-shows are gay. Jon Moxley. No, we're gonna save it for the main event. We're not like AEW. We actually saved the last matches to talk about. Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe in an Owen Hart Cup tournament quarterfinal. That's a mouthful. Speaking of mouthful, Julia Hart and Mercedes Mone in a women's Owen Hart Cup tournament quarterfinal match. Will Ospreay versus Kevin Knight in a men's Owen Hart Cup tournament quarterfinal match. The Hurt Syndicate versus the Learning Tree AEW World Tag Team Championships. Chris Jericho versus Bandido, aka Band-Aid, in the title versus mask match for the ROH Irrelevant World Championship. The Dick Riders versus FTR, or Rated FTR, or FTR Rated, for the Trios Championship. Daniel Garcia versus Adam Cole for the AEW TNT Championship. I'm running out of breath right now. Holy shit, there's so many matches. Kenny Omega versus Ricochet versus Speedball Mike Gailey in a triple threat match for the International Championship. Timeless Toni Storm versus Megan Bayne for the AEW Women's World Championship. And finally, Jon Moxley versus Strickland for the AEW World Championship. Oh, excuse me for a second. Oh, your mom's titty milk. I was dehydrated there for a second. Man, there's so many fucking matches. What is wrong with this company? What in the fuck is wrong with this? How many matches is that? Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 fucking matches. That is not even including the pre-show. 10 fucking matches. Bro, why do you need 10 fucking matches? In what world does this fucking card need 10 fucking matches? And you know what I'm looking at right now? And I could be wrong. No, I'm not wrong. I am absolutely not. There's not one grudge match on this card. Not one. Not one. Every single thing, including the championships, the tournaments, whatever you want to fucking call it, every single thing is aimed at a championship. Why call it Wrestle Dynasty? You might as well just keep ripping off WWE and call this shit Night of Champions. Holy fuck, not one so everything is literally championship centric. Okay, it is what it is, but 10 matches? 10? Bro, to be honest with you, I'm looking up and down this card. Like, honestly, you have to be the most invested AEW fan. I feel like none of these matches have any heat to them whatsoever. Like, none of them whatsoever. Not one fucking match has even an iota of fucking heat. Like, none. And all of them took like 3 weeks to fucking build. This is going to be fucking terrible. So we're going into a card where there's pretty much no fucking heat, no grudge matches, just championship. And then everybody on this card feels like there's like at least one superstar attached to it, if not both competitors in the match, if not literally all the competitors in the match, where it's like, dude, I don't give a fuck about this person whatsoever. Bro, look at this shit. I don't give a fuck about Mark Briscoe going up against Fletcher, with all due respect to him. I don't give a fuck about Julia Hart. I don't give a shit about Kevin Knight. I don't give a fuck about the Learning Tree. I don't give a fuck about Band-Aid. I don't give a fuck about the Dick Riders or FTR. That's sad, considering Edge is a part of that. I don't give a fuck about Garcia and Cole. I don't give a fuck about Ricochet or Speedball Mike Gailey. I don't give a fuck about Megan Bayne. I don't give a fuck about, bro. The one match I should care about being Jon and Swerve, what they did last week or last Wednesday. They killed all that from me too. Alright, folks. Alright, let's just do this, man. Hazmat suit on, helmet on, face mask on. I do this for you guys. I do this for love. Let's go! So with absolutely no shock at all, Will Ospreay wins his match against Kevin Knight. But honestly, that's not even, and this is just my opinion, that's not even the story of this match. Never mind, this match went way shorter than I thought it was going to go. And by the way, for the fucking best, holy shit, what the hell are you guys talking about in regards to this Kevin Knight guy, bro? First off, his offense is like fucking Evan Bourne circa 2010. He brings nothing special to the table. I'm not trying to say that he's not an athletic guy, but the athleticism today, I don't know. His athleticism, it feels more like on par with a Montez Ford. You know what I mean? Or on par, as I said before, of an Evan Bourne circa 2009 or 2010. He's athletic. He has something of a compelling move structure. But when you see the wrestlers in AEW, and I'm not a move mark guy, but it's just an observation, you know, his offense, it just looks boring in comparison to their offense. And I'm not trying to say that his offense is necessarily boring. I just mean in comparison. If that's the shit that you focus on, in comparison, his moveset looks boring as shit. It really does. Like, the dude doesn't really do much but jump. And again, he's athletic, but it's going to take more than just jumping. You know what I mean? You guys say that he has good promo skills. I would like to see it. I would like to see it so that can shine through a little bit. Because if he's going to rely on this boring ass, this boring ass, what would you even say? Like, appearance? Like, I don't expect, you know, Will Ospreay came out, he got the big pop, and then he came out and was completely dead. I get it. No one knows who the fuck this guy is. They built him up like he's a big deal, but no one knows who the fuck this guy is. But if they're going to build him up like this, he needs something to fall back on. Something. And even then, you actually have the match in itself, and this is the part that I was going to get to. Will Ospreay carried that match on his back. Holy fuck. The miscommunication throughout this entire fucking match. Like, and again, all props in the world to Will Ospreay. I feel like if that was any other wrestler, they would have fucked up way more than it needed to be fucked up. Will Ospreay, there were certain things that he was doing where it's like Kevin Knight, his timing is fucking, I don't know what the hell. That kid, bro, like, he has no timing whatsoever. Literally every spot he kept doing, he kept jumping too early, or he kept jumping too late, or it felt like he was trying to do something else when Will Ospreay had something else in mind. Like, Buddy's timing was completely fucked. And it's like, you can see the incidents, like, you can like how can I put this? I want to give a perfect example as to how fucked up this dude is. Two things he did. Mind you, it happened throughout the match, mind you, but it was two spots in particular that he did, right? Two spots in particular. There was one spot where it looked like he was trying to like do a leapfrog over Will Ospreay, but Will Ospreay was so close to him. It's like, why would you leapfrog him that close, buddy? Like, it was that spot. It was the spot with the cutter where he jumped off, but like he's jumping way too, like, how can I put this? Like, when Randy Orton does the, you know, the catch out of nowhere RKO, the guy isn't going to necessarily go for a move. You know what I mean? They're just gonna jump, whether it's like just a jump. You're not literally going to go for a move, because when you jump like that, it gives the person giving the move time to kind of time where they're gonna precisely grab your head at, right? That's the whole point. This dude actually tries to go for his little springboard clothesline, but he extends his arm out, which obviously when you extend your arm out like that, it makes it kind of hard to grab your head. The timing can be off a little bit. He just sucks at his timing. His timing is absolutely dog shit, and it was evident throughout this entire match. He's not ready. I'm sorry, he's not ready. I know I'm not a wrestler and I can't say things like that. Oh no, the person outside looking in says things that doesn't fit my narrative. Sorry, bro, I got eyes. Buddy is not fucking ready already. Okay, he is not. Okay, he can sit back all day and he can, you know, pretend as if he's over, or you guys can pretend that he's over. No, I'm sorry, okay? Stick Williams, he ain't it. He ain't it. Stick Williams needs to take his ass back to New Japan Pro Wrestling and do a couple of more tours. And, you know, just, again, I'm just trying to see what you guys see in him. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I kind of like the name Stick Williams now, so I'm not going to call him Kevin Knight anymore. He's going to be Stick Williams going forward. But with that being said, I see Wild Bill Hiccup and the Bounty Hunter, and I see The Hurt Business coming out right now, so too much cocaine. Let's see where this match is gonna go. It is legitimately scary that Shelton Benjamin is pushing 50 years old. I think he's turning 50 years old this year, as a matter of fact. It is actually fucking scary. I mean, I'm not even just talking about from how he looks. I mean, just the way he moves in the ring. The way he moves in the ring, bro. He's like twice the age of most of the AEW superstars, and he moves just as quick. It's incredible. It's incredible, man. Do you guys realize that Shelton Benjamin this year turning 50, he is only 2 years younger than when Ric Flair returned in 2002. Or I guess it would have been 01, but you know what I mean. 2 years younger. It's fucking scary. It's fucking scary. Also, what's scary? This fucking match. This was just you know, the sad part about it is, let me not say scary. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, because the match wasn't really that bad per se. And it tried. And I do want to see where the story is going with the Hurt Business as we get further along with MJF. But man, did this just scream Collision. My God, this just screamed Collision. This had no business being on the pay-per-view. What I would have actually been okay with, if maybe they could have built this up for the next couple of weeks, I would have actually preferred them doing the whole MJF MVP stuff tonight and build that up as to whether or not he can join the Hurt Business. And that could have been a segment on the pay-per-view. I would have been okay with that more so than this match right here. Again, it wasn't bad. I'm not going to sit here and say that it was the worst thing in the world, because that'd be lying. It's just, it has no heat to it outside of all the storyline elements. But Big Bill and, you know, fucking Brian Keith, it's like they just felt like filler, like absolute fucking filler, just plot devices to, you know, further along the story with MJF and the Hurt Syndicate, which is never a bad thing. People have to have parts to play, but it really was super evident. Again, to the degree I just felt like this match had no business being on pay-per-view. But it was, and, you know, it happened. You know, the finish came where MJF was outside the crowd, and, you know, Wild Bill and Bobby Lashley were fighting, and he popped his head out of the crowd, and he popped Wild Bill in the head with his dynamite diamond ring, which set him up for a spear. And then Shelton and Bobby pretty much jumped Brian Keith for how long they could jump him, and then they ended up, you know, Bobby ended up hitting the spear on him, and then Shelton weirdly nonchalant. It's not even just like the nonchalantly, bro. What in the fuck? This is what happened when you do drugs, folks. You can't talk straight. Fuck me. He just nonchalantly pinned him. Okay, there you go. Fuck. He just did it in such like a, I don't know. I'm not gonna say buried, because I think that's maybe an overused terminology, especially when it's Shelton Benjamin pinning you and you're a lower talent than Shelton. It's not necessarily a burial. It's just that, like, you know, Bobby speared him and he was like selling on his stomach, and then Shelton turned him around and like he stood there for a couple of seconds and then he pinned him. He could have just pinned him immediately. I feel like when you do stuff like that, you do kind of harm the credibility of the superstar a little tiny bit. But like I said, it's the fucking bounty hunter, for God's sakes. Who really gives a shit, right? But like I said, it did its job. It just didn't really feel like a pay-per-view match. Yo, just get to Sasha and Ember Moon already, alright? That's what everybody wants to see. Actually, I kind of do want to see that match also. Let's just get to Sasha and Ember Moon, okay? Let's just get there. Hurry the fuck up. I do not care at all to see any more of these tournament matches. I just want to see Athena and Mercedes. This match bored me to fucking tears. I actually had to wake myself up a couple times because I felt my eyes closing. This was so goddamn boring. And even every time I opened up my eyes, all I seen was like straight sloppiness. I mean, more slop than my fucking slop that I give you when you open up your mouth and I drench your mouth with my fucking slop. Yeah, you can see how tired I am, right? I'm just rambling on right now. Really though, this match was sloppy as shit also. Kind of similar to the first match, but more so not really the timing issues as much as those were just outright fucking botches and, you know, miscommunication. You know, one little spot with Mercedes, probably one of the cringiest spots I've seen in recent memory, where she tried to go for her little, you know, grab the arm, run up the turnbuckle, and spin out move that she does. She tried that and she slipped off the ropes, and then she stood up and then she started to do her stupid fucking dance in order to cope that she fucked up that spot. You know, there was another spot also where I don't know what the fuck they were trying to go for. You know, you had fucking, I guess she was trying to go for a Frankensteiner, Julia that was, but she kind of botched it a little tiny bit, and Mercedes, you know, tried to cover up by giving her a power bomb, but then she floated over. It was just a complete bumblefuck. Like, these girls were just rolling around the ring and they weren't naked, so I just didn't give a shit at all. Mercedes ended up winning the match with, you guessed it, a roll up. So who really fucking cares, honestly? And honestly, you went into this match knowing who was going to win. This whole card is predictable as fuck. But yeah, this match, really, really, really fucking boring. And honestly, that's all the time I want to give to it. So let's continue on. Okay, credit where credit is due. I fuck with the angle. Now, granted, I'm not going to sit here and pretend this wasn't the most predictable shit in the world, but I fuck with the angle. Now, granted, we know where this is going, and if you don't know where this is going, I'm going to tell you right now, this is definitely heading to Edge and Christian teaming up to take on FTR, most likely at the All In show in Texas. That's definitely where this is heading. Be aware, as this goes on, as time goes on, they're gonna probably do something with Christian getting his shit fucked up also. You guys know this, right? Like, this is the path that they're going towards. It's gonna be Edge and Christian versus FTR at All In Texas, which is perfectly fine, and I'm perfectly cool with that. But FTR, they turned on Edge. They turned on him. The match in itself, who gives a fuck? It was boring as shit. Once again, I was falling asleep. I did not give a fuck about this match. It was cold as shit. I did not care whatsoever. They didn't do anything for me to give a shit about. Didn't care. Don't care at all. What I do care about is what happened after the match. So, the finish essentially came where you had a bit of a miscommunication between Scott Dawson. Wait, what is Scott Dawson's name in this? Cash Wheeler, right? Where you had a bit of a miscommunication with Cash Wheeler, right? And Edge. You had Wheeler Yuta. He pushed Edge into Scott Dawson, Cash Wheeler, and when he pushed him into him, Edge rolled out of the ring because they kind of knocked noggins together. And while he was stunned, Cash Wheeler, fuck these names, dude, these lame ass names. Fucking Wheeler Yuta hit him with the Busaku knee in order to pick up the win, right? So that's fine and dandy. You had Edge and Dash Wilder, who were gonna pick him up, and it was gonna be fine. And actually, no, sorry, Dax Harwood. Damn it, bro, these fucking names. Oh my god, these fucking names. Dax Harwood's the ballhead one. Cash Wheeler is the one who had the gun. Okay, ballhead guy, Dax Harwood. He was the one that got connected with Edge, and then the whole bullshit sequence happened with Wheeler Yuta. I'm not repeating myself again. Fuck you guys. But then after the match, Cash Wheeler and Edge, they walked over there to go help up Dax Harwood. They helped him up. They held up their arms in satisfaction for at least putting in a jolly well good show, right? And then Dax Harwood hit Edge with a power driver. He got two steel chairs and he brought it into the ring as if he was setting up for a concerto. And then you had Cash Wheeler who was telling him, "No, pretty please, don't do this, please. Oh my god, don't do this. Oh god." And then Cash Wheeler eventually went behind Dax Harwood, and then they hit the Shattered Machine on Edge. And then while Edge was laid out, they put the chair underneath his neck, and then they hit the concerto on him, right? Actually, they hit a spike power driver on him on top of the steel chair first. Then they put the chair underneath him, and then Cash Wheeler hit him not once, but twice with a concerto. Now, I will say maybe they were a little bit excessive. They could have just focused strictly on the neck, because honestly, you know, the concerto spot is kind of stupid when you think about it, because in reality, you do the spot, I mean, a guy should be bleeding out of his ears, or bleeding out of his nose, or bleeding out of his mouth. I never really liked the concerto spot for that reason, because in reality, that would probably legitimately fucking kill you, right? It's one of the reasons why I never liked that or Triple H's sledgehammer. Don't use weapons where it's like the superstar can legitimately be killed, right? Unless you're gonna do it like a one-time thing and then the guy's gonna be out for a fucking year, because that's the only explanation as to why you would do something like that. But outside of the over-excessiveness as far as the beatdown is considered, I do think they could have just did the spike power driver on the chair and that would have been good enough. Or hell, to be perfectly honest with you, you didn't even need the added effect of a chair. Edge has neck injuries, right? So, you know, the explanation of a spike power driver fucking up his neck, I think would have been sufficed enough. But, you know, it is what it is. It's professional wrestling. Kind of have to let your imagination run wild a little bit. But yeah, like I said, the angle in itself was actually pretty good. I fuck with the angle a lot. Now, once again, predictable. But the match, no bueno. Did not give a fuck about it. This should have been on Collision. The majority of these matches are fucking boring as shit. These are boring fucking matches. These matches are fucking garbage. But, if for anything else, we got that angle. And, hey, winners can't be losers, and chickens can't be tenders. That's my philosophy, and I'm sticking to it. Solid angle. I'll give credit where credit is due. Yo, this show, bro, like, real talk, man. Y'all gotta do something a little bit more fucking spontaneous, bro. Either the matches are boring or they're mad fucking predictable. Like, this is scary. This is, like, scary how fucking lame and boring this show is. This shit is fucking boring. Yo, who the fuck did not know where that finish was gonna go? As soon as she kicked out of the Storm Zero at 1, I knew exactly where that shit was gonna go. Literally. I said to myself, okay, so they're gonna go for the fucking F5 fake descent bullshit. She's gonna counter into a roll up, right? And that's exactly what they did. Call that shit before the spot even fucking. God damn, Toni Storm thicker than a bitch though. Actually, Megan Bayne thicker than a bitch too. Damn, bro, they needed to switch professions. Get a job, suck 'em all dirt. But no, this match, it wasn't bad. It was just, again, none of these matches really feel pay-per-view worthy, man. Like, they just don't feel pay-per-view worthy. You had the spot with Penelope Ford being taken out by Luther. I mean, that's a pretty cool spot, you know, for Luther, because you have Penelope's Ford pussy draped over his forehead. That's pretty good. I would love to be in his spot. You know, like I said, give me one opportunity to give the women a power bomb. You know, I would love to do that. I'm not gonna drop them. I'm gonna create the world's longest stalling power bomb, fucking with the women, right? But yeah, Luther took out Penelope Ford, and they came straight up with Toni Storm and Megan Bayne, and yeah, it was fine, nothing terrible. Maybe the best match I've seen so far from a pure in-ring standpoint. But again, that finish, it really bugged the fuck out of me, because again, it was so goddamn predictable. I mean, that shit was so predictable, it fucking hurt. It fucking hurt. As I said, she kept hitting her over and over and over again with her ass rump special, or whatever she calls it, the hip attack or whatever. Again, I would love to take that spot multiple times. Actually, we could probably finish in the finale with a sting face. But eventually, I did hate that spot a little bit too, though, because Megan Bayne kept pulling herself up over and over again. The announcers were trying to sell it like, oh, Megan Bayne's trying to get herself back up to her feet. No, she keeps trying to set herself up for the spot. Again, it was stupid. And I will notate there was one pretty scary spot to a lesser degree, where, like, you know, if this would have went, this could have went awry very seriously and very quickly. You had Toni Storm give from like the second rope, so Megan Bayne's on the top turnbuckle, right, and Toni's on the second rope, and she gives her like a little small inside out German suplex from the turnbuckle, and Megan Bayne landed on her stomach and on her face, which looked hella. But the thing is, though, bro, when I tell you, if this girl, like, even rotated a milli second late, she would have landed directly on top of her fucking neck. Just directly. And not even just, like, you know, spiking her neck. It looked like she was going to land, like, throat first on her neck. Folded herself up in fucking half if she didn't rotate just even a millisecond. And again, Megan Bayne ain't no small woman, so that That could have been very disastrous, but luckily she's fine. She was okay, and the match continued. And like I said, she ended up taking Storm Zero from Toni, and she kicked out of it. And I get it, they're trying to tell this whole stupid ass Rocky story. As a matter of fact, they did this pointless fucking vignette that literally went nowhere with Toni Storm having a special film as her special entrance, and they're doing a parody of Rocky, I guess, but like it didn't do anything. There was no Luther yelling in her face, come on Rocky type of shit. It was really none of that. It was literally just a bunch of sequences and a bunch of scenes tied together type of shit, you know what I mean? It was fucking lame. And like I said, Toni Storm ended up winning the match. She kicked out of the Storm Zero. What's her name? Kicked out of the Storm Zero. Megan Bayne, and then eventually she tried to go for the F5, and Toni reversed that to a small package in order to get the win. Like I said, I guess it was fine from a match standpoint, maybe the best match of the night so far for me, but it was just so predictable that it hurt, and I just did not give a shit about this match whatsoever. Speaking of matches I don't give a shit about whatsoever, we got Kyle Fletcher and Mark Briscoe in another fucking heatless match for the Owen Hart bullshit tournament. So let's get to that, shall we? Shall we? We shall. I don't want to do this anymore, guys. I don't want to do this anymore. This is so fucking boring. Oh, dude, these heatless fucking matches with these fucking nobody loser fucks. Oh my god, they're doing Chris Jericho and Bandido next. Oh my god, I don't know if I'm gonna survive this. Okay, come on, Devontae. Come on. Go grab a Red Bull out of the refrigerator. Okay. Alright, go grab some fentanyl. You're gonna be okay, Devontae. You can do this. Perk yourself up, dumb boy. Come on. Okay, so this match between Kyle Fletcher and who the fuck did he wrestle? Oh yeah, Mark Briscoe. Who cares? Who fucking cares? Mark Briscoe lost. That's all you need to know. And he lost with a top rope brainbuster. That's literally all you need to know. You don't need to know anything else in this match. I mean, there was one careless ass stupid fucking spot. Because leave it up to AEW wrestlers, okay? They gotta do every goddamn spot under the sun, even though it literally has no merit whatsoever on the match. And if, like, had you actually connected it, no one would have given a shit. No one. Not one iota of a motherfucker would have given a shit. Not even your most diehardest fans. But because you kind of fucked up the spot and you damn near killed somebody else, or yourselves, in the match, hopefully next time you succeed, of course, people are going to remember that because it's a fucking botch. Kyle Fletcher gives Mark Briscoe a brainbuster on the ring apron, and as he's doing this, Mark Briscoe, his leg catches the top rope, and he damn near spikes him on the fucking ring apron. Mark Briscoe had the common sense to at least grab the bottom rope to slow down his descent. Had he not slowed down his descent, he would have either broken his neck or the back of his head would have hit the hard part of the ring legit, and probably would have knocked his ass out cold, because that ringside is very, very hard. Oh, they're so retarded. Oh, and they do it for no reason. Devontae, there is a reason. There's a tournament. Do it during the finals. Do it during the semifinals, not during the fucking quarterfinals where nobody gives a fuck. But like I said, Bandido. That's what I'm seeing right now coming out to the ring. His gay ass outfit. No, Kyle Fletcher ended up winning the match with a top rope brainbuster in order to pick up the victory. Oh my god. Pain and suffering is what I feel right now, and I can't stop feeling it. Alright, let's get to the next boring match. Bandido versus Chris Jericho. The quicker, oh god, the fucking better. Oh man, that was so gay. Okay, sure, whatever, okay. Whatever happened to the referee's decision is final, right? They just pick and choose whenever they want to do shit like this in professional wrestling. Alright, Alright, Bandido's the new ROH World Champion. Not like I really give a fuck. I don't keep up with ROH anyways, but I went into this dark and I was at least saying to myself, like, okay, with the finish happening the way that it happened, okay, that's pretty cool. It's a pay-per-view that this happened on. There's a reason to want to keep up with this. And that's exactly how I felt after this match. They actually had my attention. And just like that, disappeared. Completely and utterly fucking disappeared. And the match in itself wasn't even half bad, to be perfectly honest with you. I thought this is probably the best Jericho has looked in a long time. The match in itself was actually pretty decent. Even the botch, because it feels like every goddamn match there's a botch happening in tonight. But even with the one botch that they had, I gotta say, that was one of the most clever ways to cover up for that. Kudos on Jericho, kudos on the announcers. That was a nice cover-up spot for that botch. What does he call it? The 21 Savage German suplex, whatever the fuck he calls it. He ended up actually going for that move at one point, and it's clear that his foot got caught up in the ropes when he was like rebounding off of it. And like when he bounced off of it, you know, and his foot got tangled up, they try to make it sound as if, because like when he actually got his feet off of it, like detangled, he eventually floated back over, and then Jericho hit a nice roll up out of that move, which looked like a consistent move. And the announcers were like, oh, Jericho lowered his waist down so it could mess up the move. And because he hit a roll up directly out of it, again, it was a nice cover up. Nice cover up. And I actually like two spots in this match. Again, this is probably, for me, so far, I would actually say this is probably match of the night so far, at least for me. I can't speak for anybody else. From an in-ring perspective, again, this is the best Jericho has looked in a long-ass time. And kudos on Bandido. I like him a lot. It's too bad he's in AEW, so his career's gonna fucking flounder. But he did hit this nice move. It was two moves. One, that suplex spot where he held Jericho up legitimately for like almost a whole goddamn minute. That was lit. That was hard as fuck. You can see his knees buckling and everything too. That was a dope ass fucking move. I fuck with that a lot. And then you can say this is kind of dangerous, but it looked as safe as you can make a move like that look safe. Jericho, so Bandido tried to go for her, because like after the stalling suplex spot, Jericho sold it like blood rushed to his head and he was really disoriented, which probably could be a shoe, because again, he held him up for a long ass time in that suplex. That's probably the longest stalling suplex I've ever seen in wrestling history, honestly. But while Jericho was disoriented, Bandido tried to go for a Hurricane Rana from the apron to the outside of the ring, I'm assuming, and Jericho held him and he hit a power bomb, a straight up standing power bomb from the ring apron all the way down to the floor, which looked fucking brutal. And I like this spot also when Jericho went to his mom directly after the spot, and his mom looked like she legitimately had tears in her eyes as her, and I don't know if that's his sister or his wife or whatever. They're all going, Bandido. It was a lit spot. It was a really dope spot, especially with the mom thing afterwards. Again, this match had no business being as good as it was, and it really could have went over like really heavy had they just kept the spot going in the way it was supposed to be kept going. You know, like you had the bounty hunter come back out after his dumbass match with the Hurt Syndicate, and he started getting into a fight. Well, first he was distracting Bandido, but then he eventually got into a fight with Gravity, who I think is Bandido's brother or his cousin or whatever. They started fighting, and then the referees came and they started to break it up. And in the midst of all that, Jericho pulled out his bat and he hit Bandido in the head with it. And rather than kicking out of it, Bandido fell to it because you got hit in the head with a fucking bat. And even Jericho taking his oh so long time to pin him. Yeah, because you got hit in the head with a fucking bat. You could probably take all night to pin him. Theoretically, he probably should be dead right now, but that's fine. It's okay, because Jericho did get the pin on him before they did a dusty finish, and his family got involved. His mom and his sister, or whoever that lady was, they pointed at the fact that Jericho hit him with a bat and hit it behind the stairs, which Aubrey, I have to get myself over at the expense of every fucking wrestler. Edwards, Dawn Stevens, comes out and pulls the bat from behind the stairs, and she's like, hey, look, Bryce Winsberg, whatever your fucking name is, you gotta restart the match. And then they restarted the match, and then Bandido ended up hitting his 21 Savage German suplex in order to pick up the win. I mean, goddamn, have they actually, been consistent and he actually stayed the path, and Bandido actually lost that match and he was gonna get his mask removed in the process, damn, that would have put this match over way more fucking harder. But alas, that's not the case, and well, it is what it is. It is what it is. It was still a solid match, and I think it was the best match of the night, honestly. But man, this could have like really put it over the top had they actually let him take off his mask, because it could have been way more memorable. But I'll give credit where credit is due. I don't follow the story. I have no clue about the story. I don't know who the fuck any of this stuff is in regards to the competitors outside of Jericho. I don't know who the fuck Bandido is outside of hearing his name. So kudos to them for telling a very compelling story, even though I went into this dark as fuck. Credit where credit is due. Solid match. Yep, can't front, folks. I just didn't give a fuck about this match at all, and it seems like the crowd didn't give a fuck about this match also. They weren't completely dead, but I would definitely say out of the entire night, this is easily the most quiet the crowd has been. I mean, who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck about these stupid twinks wrestling? I sure as hell didn't care. And you know, it is something that is incredibly noticeable about Adam Cole, and really Daniel Garcia also. But you know you're in a bad position when Daniel Garcia is the giant in the ring, right? Daniel Garcia is bigger than Adam Cole. He's bigger than Adam Cole. And that's actually something incredibly noticeable. He's so small and he's so pale. It's like, how do you get into this guy is beyond me. I'm not a professional wrestler. I'm an average sized dude. Why am I twice the size of Adam Cole? Baby! My God, that's so goddamn noticeable. And what else is noticeable is in this match, the amount of times they kept spamming. If you're going to go after Jay and Jimmy, you got to go after this match also, right? The amount of times Adam Cole, and for that matter, Daniel Garcia to a lesser degree also, kept spamming the Canadian Destroyer. Yeah, it's the Panama Sunrise, but that's essentially what it is, right? A fucking Canadian Destroyer. It's just ridiculous. They did like at least 7 of them bitches in this entire fucking match, and it just got so goddamn tiresome after a certain point. This was ass. This was an ass match. This was so bad. Between the quiet crowd, the repetitive moves, just the image of these two fucking skinny ass twinks going out there doing jack shit. The most charismatic in this entire match is the crowd. Whenever, you know, they're going boom to Adam Cole's theme song. Adam Cole's theme song is the most charismatic thing in this entire fucking match. But Daniel Garcia ended up losing the match in another very predictable fucking match, because that's his entire show. Absolutely. What is my prediction so far, by the way? We still got a Speedball, Mike Gailey, Kenny Omega, or Kenny Beta as I like to call him. Well, we got Mike Gailey, Kenny Beta, and Andrew Tate. They're about to go at it right now. What's my prediction so far? I feel like I got damn near every match right on this fucking card so far, right? I had to. Let me see. Going back to my predictions on my community posts. Ospreay, okay, I guessed that right. Mone, I guessed that right. Dick Riders, I guessed that right. Hurt Syndicate, I guessed that right. Cole, guessed that right. Fletcher, guessed that right. Bandido, guessed that right. Storm, guessed that right. We only have 2 matches left. And I can tell you right now, Omega ain't losing to Speedball Mike Gailey or Andrew Tate. He's not losing to either one of these losers. Moxley might be up in the air, but that just tells you how fucking lame this show is. This is just a fucking filler show all the way around, man. Every damn match just has no heat to it whatsoever. Every match is very predictable. Like, this is like Dynamite on steroids is essentially what it is, man. And really, I can't even say that. That's the problem when you have match after match after match after match on AEW Dynamite, and you can distinguish it from, you know, the actual matches on the pay-per-view as far as how hard they go. Because you can do the second match on the card for Dynamite, and you really can distinguish it from a pay-per-view because they do the same shit all the fucking time. And when you take away the gimmicks from the pay-per-view, it's a Dynamite match, or in some cases even a collision match. It's just pointless. This is a lame ass pay-per-view, man. You know you're fucking bad when Jericho's your match of the night so far, at least in my opinion. But Of course, they're going to have this gay-ass triple threat match. I know I'm going to get pissed off at it. I know I'm going to hate everything about it. I know it. And I know people are going to call this match a particular match of the night. I'm going to hate everything about this match. So just prepare for a huge fucking rant. Just prepare. I'm already going to give this match half a star. I'm not even going to fucking wait. Let's just give it half a star off rip. Just prepare yourselves for a huge fucking rant. Because you know it's coming. You know it's coming. You know it's coming. Just prepare yourselves. Let's get to it. Omega, Ricochet, and Gayley. Let's just get this shit over with. Alright, everybody, get ready for the greatest match of all time since the last greatest match of all time. Since the last greatest match of all time. Just since like the last greatest match of all fucking time. It's the same bullshit you get in every three-way when fucking with AEW. It's a bunch of choreographed bullshit that has no tangible storytelling into it whatsoever outside of guys pretending to sell. Yeah, that makes no sense when I say that, right? Because selling in itself is pretending. No. They're pretending to sell while still doing the maneuver because they have to get their shit in. Bro, oh my god. And then to make matters much worse, this match just would not fucking end. It just kept going and going and going and going and going. You know it's 11:37? As of right now of this recording, it's 11:37. There is no reason. There is no fucking reason as to why this pay-per-view should be going this fucking long. And now you got gay-ass Okada coming out. Bro, I don't care about this bullshit, stupid-ass, garbage-ass, I can speak any English, but I can say bitch fucking rivalry, you dumbass. And bruh, oh my god, this is the worst of professional wrestling. And how much you want to bet? How much you want to bet? Again, people are gonna praise the shit out of this. This is not wrestling, bruh. There's no heat. There's no heat to any. The only good thing about this bullshit with Okada and Kenny Omega is hopefully they're going to fucking unify these two belts because there's way too many fucking mid-card championship belts existing at the moment. You got the TNT Championship, the Continental Championship, the International Championship. Please, oh please, fucking unify the belts and get rid of some of these mid-card championship belts so not all your fucking wrestlers have to be established in some way while deprioritizing the other fucking belts because it's a clusterfuck in this fucking company. But speaking of clusterfucks, let's just take 2 seconds to highlight some of the stupidity within this triple threat match, right? So we have Speedball Mike Gayley. Well, it depends what you want to call him, okay? The more I look at him, the more I like to call him Speedball Matt Hardy. We can call him that, okay? You guys want to call him that? We can call him Speedball Mike Binary. We can call him that, or you can go with the favorite. Let's just go with the old time fashion, okay? Suck balls, Mike Gayley. Let's go with that, okay? Dude, this dumb bastard hits his stupid ass. What do you call? He calls it Time Adventure because I guess that's a play on Adventure Time or whatever. Because they're gay just like him. He hit his stupid ass moonsault double knees and landed on the ring apron, right? In the process of doing that, you would say to yourself, "Oh, Devontae, that's really cool." No, it's not cool. Bruh, how are you selling your knee, but at the same fucking time, you're still doing these ridiculous ass spots? Like, there's no continuity whatsoever when it comes to these people. It's literally just, I gotta get my shit in. That's this entire match. I gotta get my shit in. Another stupid fucking spot. Because why actually wrestle when you can play into the stupidity of your dumbass indie garbage bullshit nonsense? These dumb bastards, each of them, because they had to do it, right? Each person had to get a double roll-up attempt on the other. Ricochet did it. Speedball Mike Gayley did it. Kenny Omega did it because, again, professional wrestling is fake, and that's them telling you that professional wrestling is fake. You get more stupidity, more dumbass spots, more non-selling nonsense, more of the same pattern of bullshit you see on every episode of fucking Dynamite, more garbage nonsense that you've been seeing in multi-man matches for the better part of a fucking decade, with their dumbass fans going, fight forever. Again, let me reiterate this point one more time. That was the problem with this match. It's because they kept fighting for fucking ever. It just would not fucking end. At one point, they legitimately just hit roll-ups in every fucking spot. It was nowhere near, I mean, the amount of, let me tell you every spot in this match outside of the stupidity of the innuendos of none selling their dumbass garbage spots, right? You got stupid ass kicks, stupid ass flips, and stupid ass finisher attempts, right? You got Speedball Mike Gailey kicking out of Ricochet's finisher. You got Ricochet, I think, attempting to fucking be comedic because he's not funny at all. The only thing funny about him is his relationship with a stupid ass announcer girlfriend wife, who, by the way, I hope her boyfriend approves, because I don't think he likes her going on TV and pretending that he's actually marrying her. And then we get to the finish, because of course we have to get to the finish. And I was hoping and I was praying that this was going to be a finish, because I'm not going to lie to you folks, there was a part of me in the back of my mind that actually said to myself, these retardos are actually going to go out of their way and they're going to legitimately do this dumb fuck finish, and Ricochet's going to kick out of it. I actually thought he was going to kick out of it. So you get all these complicated scenarios happening where eventually Suckballs Mike Gailey ends up on the turnbuckle. Ricochet ends up on the turnbuckle. It looks like he's going to do an avalanche recoil, whatever the fuck he calls it. Retardo. I don't know what the fuck he calls his move. And then Kenny Omega comes up on the turnbuckle right behind him. It looked like they're about to have a threesome on the turnbuckle. Eventually, Kenny Omega hits his one-winged angel on Ricochet off the turnbuckle in an avalanche style in order to get the win. Speedball Mike Gailey eventually landed in the Tree of Woe to watch this shit go down. Again, I'm not understanding why Ricochet had to take the pinfall, considering he legitimately just fought the guy who's now fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship right now as we speak, going into the main event. He's doing his entrance right now. That guy, you know, the only person, which just tells you how fucking sucky their wrestlers are, with the most charisma in the match. He was just having a number one contender shot for the World Heavyweight Championship, lost that match, comes into this match, and loses. Now, granted, he lost to Kenny Omega, so I guess there's no shame in that, but why couldn't Suckballs Mike Gailey take the pinfall? Anybody? Why? Because we're establishing a guy who's smaller than Adam Cole? Yeah, make that make sense. Smaller than Adam Cole, who's smaller than Daniel Garcia. And I guarantee you, Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker doesn't get 5 stars. Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels doesn't get 5 stars. Triple H and The Undertaker doesn't get 5 stars. But of course, this match is probably going to get 8 stars. The amount of cum dripping out of Dave Meltzer's pants right now could probably fill the Pacific Ocean twice. I cannot believe that we have fucking sunk to these standards when it comes to professional wrestling, bro. The shit that you see right here, and in any other era, WCW, for an example, would have just been in the WCW Cruiserweight division, forgotten about because it was all filler to get to the NWO stuff. I'm telling you this because I'm telling you that there were just as good spots being done with Billy Kidman and Rey Mysterio and fucking Hoovy and all these other guys. But guess what? Because we knew where the money was at, which was the main event. Bruh. Can we just come on. The main event is happening right now. I know people are coming in their pants right now. Everything about this was garbage. I'm sorry. Now, to be fair, was this as bad as I thought it was going to be? Yes, I did. Yes. But it wasn't as bad as I thought. I thought it was going to be a lot worse. It just happened to meet my expectations of terrible. So congratulations. You managed to hit 0 and not negative. Again, this is crazy, bro. I guess Kenny Omega said it right. This isn't professional wrestling. It's theater. It's performance art. Skip to the loo, my darling. Oh my god, bro. Like I said, it's the main event. Jon Moxley versus Kendrick Lamar. Let's just get this shit over with. I mean, what where do you go from there? Where do you go from there, man? Where do you go from there? I don't. And the sad part about it is, you know why they did this for, right? You know why they did this for, right? They did this for two reasons. They did the finish in the way they did the finish because A, they want to do Swerve and Hangman versus, we'll talk about that later on, in a tag team match, which I'm pretty sure you can see the thumbnail because that's what I made the thumbnail, because I need you guys to see the thumbnail before you actually click on the video, just so you can see how fucking absurd this is. And they also did this because they wanted an excuse to have their dumb fucking blood and guts match whenever in the next future or whatever. I can't even begin to tell you how bad this was. First off, I don't even know, like, why even bother making this a singles match? I think that's my first complaint. What was the point of making this a singles match? You knew you just wanted to get your dumb fucking hardcore bullshit in, so why even bother with having a singles match? You know what you wanted to do. You knew what you wanted to do. So why even go ahead and do a singles match? I told you guys it was going to be fucking something stupid. Did I know it was going to be this stupid? No, I didn't know it was going to be this stupid. So they have their match. They dick teased and pretended as if they were going to actually wrestle. But then they recognized that, well, we've completely ruined our audience and we made them believe that the only thing that matters is dumb dick hardcore spots or choreographed bullshit spots. So when we actually go in there and attempt to have an actual wrestling match, guess what? They don't respond. Yeah, that's what happens when you feed them nothing but bullshit, dudes. That's what happens. You give them nothing but bullshit, so when the actual regular stuff happens, they don't want to fucking deal with it. Congratulations, you fed your kid nothing but pizza and ice cream, so when it comes time to get them something healthy, they don't want to fucking ingest it, and therefore they die from malnutrition because you're a dumb fuck. Or they die from diabetes because you're a dumb fuck. Or they die from high blood pressure because you're a dumb fuck. These guys try to actually fucking wrestle. Greco-Roman catch-as-catch-can wrestling for a little bit. And like I said, their audience didn't give a shit about it. So then they went straight directly to the stupidity, the blood, all that stuff. Strickland started to bleed. A lot of bullshit started happening. I mean, when I say a lot of bullshit started happening. More clusterfuck. I just will never understand how you guys can constantly go after someone like a Vince Russo, but then you do shit like this in all of your main events. Not one main event that didn't involve Jon Moxley didn't have an overbooked finish. Tell me why that, like I said, because, again, they can't hold the attention of their audience by being legitimate storytellers. They can't Benoit or Angle or Bret Hart their way through a fucking match. So instead, what they have to do is use weapons. Jon Moxley attacked the referee by accident. He picked up a chair. He attempted to throw it at Swerve Strickland. Swerve ducked it, and he threw a chair directly at the referee's head, knocking him out cold. Oh, it gets better though, folks, because here comes the clusterfuck, right? Out comes Hangman Adam Page. Who's he gonna hit with the buckshot lariat? Is he gonna hit Moxley? Is he gonna hit Strickland? Is he gonna hit Moxley? Is he gonna hit Strickland? I don't give a fuck. But before he can even decide it, out comes the Dick Riders. Pac, Cesaro, Will are useless. They all get in the ring. Hangman Adam Page single-handedly, took out the three guys who couldn't even beat a Hall of Famer and two of the best tag teams in the world currently right now. They all get taken out by themselves via Hangman Adam Page. Even Jon Moxley taken out by Hangman Adam Page. Eventually, he gets taken out. And then we get a bit of a more clusterfuck, right? Mind you, prior to all this, by the way, did I mention the fact that Jon Moxley accidentally RKO'd Marina Shafir? Oh, yeah, I should probably tell you that. He accidentally RKO'd Marina Shafir because Swerve Strickland moved out of the way and he committed to the move. I don't get it either. And this is prior to Marina Shafir hitting Prince Nene with the briefcase and knocking him out. Yep, this is all happening, folks. Swerve Strickland looks like he has Jon Moxley dead to rights. Oh, also, did I mention that they pull out a ladder and Swerve Strickland hit his Swerve Stomp off a ladder onto Jon Moxley through an announcement table? Because that happened also. Because this is a singles match. Oh, you didn't know that? Oh, let me remind you, it's a singles match. It's a regular match and all that fucking bullshit happened. But let's get to the piece that is done to fucking stupidity and overbooked nonsense that once again, reminder, just a reminder, Vince Russo, worst person in the world, but they book like him in almost all their main events involving Jon Moxley since he's been world champion. But Vince Russo's the worst person in the world consistently, right? Consistency amongst the AEW faithful, am I right? The lights cut off because it's an AEW main event. It's AEW in general. I mean, why do anything else differently? Let's cut off the fucking lights. And who reappears? Who reappears when the lights cut on? Because everybody was clamoring for this. Everybody was asking for this, folks, right? Right? The fucking Young Bucks. Last time I seen the Young Bucks, I think they lost their match against Private Party. I could be wrong. I think that's the last time I seen them. That was probably like back in, I don't fucking know, September or October of last year. That's the last time I seen them. It's probably been about a good 6 or so months since the last time I seen them. They're back. And they're back with a vengeance. Because the lights cut on, and there they are, holding Swerve Strickland's hand, just like you see in the thumbnail. And they proceed to give him the Elite Knee, the Vitrica, whatever the fuck they call it. I call it bullshit, but hey, that's just me. They hit the maneuver on Swerve Strickland, which knocks him out, and Jon Moxley pins him off of that. Yeah, you think I'm bullshitting you? That's the main event. The main event was Swerve Strickland being taken out by the, what I think is the BTE trigger is what they call it. Yeah, they hit that on Swerve, and then Jon Moxley pinned him. After all the clusterfuck that happened, after throwing the chair at a referee's head. Mind you, let me remind you guys one more time, this is a standard regular match, which in any other time frame I wouldn't necessarily care. Again, Shawn Michaels and Mankind had a match that was full of hardcore stuff, and that was a singles match. The only difference is that they didn't do that every fucking week in a standard hardcore match. On an episode of Collision, no less. That's the only difference. So you have a singles match to have the excuse of shutting down critics who consistently say you have to rely on the hardcore shit that Tony Khan said in the conference he wants to pretty much dwell more into. You had an excuse to do the hardcore stupidity bullshit, and you did it. And what you got was one of the worst finishes of the year so far, if not the worst finish of the year. I mean, where do I begin? Swerve Strickland taking this and losing to something pretty much objectively terrible compared to everything else he took that night. The clusterfuck booking of a bunch of fucking nobodies no one cares about. The surprise of the century of the Young Bucks, of which no one asked to come back, no one cared for. They ruined one of your biggest angles of the year last year. By the way, Tony, how's your neck? Are you fearing for your life still? They're straight go away heat for everybody, including your own fans. And you brought them back to do what? Do you think I have any fucking chairability when it comes to the Young Bucks and Tony Khan to do the right thing when it comes to booking stories going forward, especially with these two dorks around? So, are we now done with the conversation as far as Jon Moxley being world champion? He's clearly the worst world champion of all time, right? Like, take away the metrics and the statistics and this terrible drawing numbers to the degree that Tony won't even put him in the main event unless forced to, because, you know, he's the world champion and you kind of got to put him in the main event for once in a while. His angle is shit. His stable is shit. He is shit. Everything surrounds him is shit. He's terrible. He's horrible. He's god-awful. I'm sick and tired of the character. He needs to go away too. I just can't believe you have one guy who has been complete destruction as far as everything in regards to your creative structure in Jon Moxley, because I know he's booking the majority of this angle, just to bring in two other guys who are horrible in every way possible. This pay-per-view was a fucking dud for me. This was dog shit. This was horrible. This pay-per-view was a fucking atrocity. You know you're bad when, for me at least, your biggest star of the entire show was fucking Jericho. This was horrible. Everything top to bottom for the most part. Everything. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. This company takes another fucking L. They just can't get it through their minds that they fucking suck, and whatever they're currently doing right now, no one's really buying besides their dumbass hardcore fans. I don't even have an Emmy. I mean, the thing about this show the most, outside of the terrible booking, outside of the horrible finish, outside of the stereotypical choreographed bullshit to put across your 5-star caliber matches, when in reality you have to do your Cirque du Soleil expose bullshit just to cover up for the fact that none of your guys know how to fucking wrestle, is the fact that the majority of this card from top to bottom was fucking boring. Just absolute drag. Just, I can't even see myself getting emotionally invested in terms of getting angry. Look how I'm talking about the main event right now. Look how I'm talking. I can't even force myself to get angry anymore. They're not even trying. They're not even trying, so why the fuck should I try? As a matter of fact, let's just end this like it is right now. Here comes weeks of terrible fucking television. The Young Bucks having to explain themselves as to why they hurt Swerve Strickland. As if I give the slightest fuck. As if I give the slightest fuck. Folks, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below in regards to how you felt about the video. What was your favorite match of the night? Do you care to see the Young Fucks back? Do you give two shits about the terrible fucking triple threat match that everybody's probably gooning over right now? Because again, this generation is completely and utterly fucking destroyed. Please, oh please, let me hear your thoughts and your comments down in the comment section below. I'm gonna get the fuck up out of here and hopefully go scrub my eyes, go to sleep, and maybe, I don't know, drain all the boredom out of my brain that existed primarily in my frontal lobe tonight. I just can't believe it, man. Another bad fucking finish when it comes to Jon Moxley. I actually dread to know who's going to be his next opponent, because now this is starting to get along the lines of Reign of Terror, Triple H. But at least Triple H in his storylines were actually, prioritized, unlike Jon Moxley. Fuck, he's the goddamn worst wrestler. He's the fucking worst. And now we have the Young Fucks back that we have to deal with. Oh my god, I have a headache thinking about this already. As always, my name is Devontae, aka Millennium Smart, and I'll be catching you guys later. Deuces. P. Ice.